Hi guys, I'm back today with a video where I am going to be swatching everything that I own by Looxi. And if I'm calling it the wrong name, I'm really sorry. I tend to really butcher brands that are indie brands or other brands or all brands or people's names. If it's a name, I'm probably butchering it. I'm so sorry. It's like a real problem. And the first step is admitting that. So, Looxi Beauty, if it's actually pronounced like Looxi or some other way that I'm like not thinking of, let me know. I'm really sorry if it's wrong, but I'm going to be swatching a lot of their shadows today that I have and some of their highlighters as well. I did use a little bit of one of their new Butterfly Kisses collection shades on my eye, and it is, I don't know why I closed both eyes one at a time, that was weird. It looks like this, and it was the color Angel Wings. It is stunning, truly, and I think what's cool about the shadows that they are releasing right now that are kind of like the multi-chromes and duochromes and very shifty shadows is that you could put it over a different base and it's going to change the way it looks completely. So in the pan, you wouldn't necessarily get that you're going to get this kind of look, but I kind of paired it with gray and green toned kind of tan colors. So it looks totally different than it does in the pan. I am going to go ahead and start swatching these. I will start with the Butterfly Kisses collection first, and then I will go through my fairly sizable collection. If you guys have not checked them out, I sincerely think you should. They are $3 a shadow. $3, okay? I'm shocked that they're not way more expensive because a lot of other brands, like we're just going to use this brand as an example, and that's Terra Moon Cosmetics. They have some shades that are similar to this in like their payoff, and they are charging, I think it was like $17 or $18 for a single shade. These to me are just as beautiful, and they're $3 a piece. So if you can, snag them up. I know that they are an indie company, so they are smaller, so they probably don't put out as many as like a huge company like Too Faced would do. But if you can get your hands on them or restock, you should definitely do it, in my opinion. Without further ado, I'm going to swatch these for you, starting with the Butterfly Kisses collection. Okay, so one more thing. Before I actually get started with these swatches, I just wanted to let you guys know I've already done the swatches. This is me, like, backtracking a little bit. You may hear my kids in the background. It's always a really good time when they're here, but, so you may hear them getting really excited in the background. They were just, I haven't really talked about this a whole lot, but I have 3 boys. They're my stepsons, and 2 of them are special needs. It's my 2 oldest boys. They're both special needs. And so my middle son has some other issues along with his special needs, and so he gets really excited when he is able to go to the bathroom like a big boy. And he was very excited. He started like yelling, and so you may hear that, but I can only do swatches so many times. And I'm not going to tell him to stop, because when he's happy, it makes me happy, and I want them to have like the best possible childhood that they can, because as all of us know, adulthood is not always the funnest place, especially when they already have some challenges that they're working with. So I am trying to slip this in here. It's just a quick thing, and hopefully you guys will understand. I'm sure a lot of you guys have kids or pets or friends or whoever, roommates staying with you, so I'm sure you get it to a point. You can only do what you can do with the space that you have. I'm lucky to even be able to do this at all. I just had a little bit of extra time, and so I wanted to do these swatches for you guys. So anyway, I hope you guys like them. Very first shade is called Skyflower, and it's kind of looks like a silvery pink, but then it has a green-blue flip to it. Yes, I hardly had any on my finger, and it is very, very brilliantly metallic. Now, you guys may not be seeing the blue-green, but I assure you that it is there. The color is Crimson Rose. This looks like a purple reddish color, but when I turn it, I'm getting a little bit of a blue tint to it. It's Emerald. And this reminds me of almost a softer version of the multi-chrome that is in the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 palette. It's got kind of a green and an orangey and a red and a purple kind of shift to it. It is called the Monarch. And I'm seeing an orangish, reddish, pinkish kind of, and gold tint to it. The next shade is Angel Wings, and I have this on my eye today. This kind of gives me vibes of a little bit of the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction palette kind of special shade. It's got red and green and blue and gold and silver and just, it's got a lot of dimension to it. And I'm sad because I don't think you guys are seeing on the monitor what I'm seeing in person. The next shade is Painted Lady. And when you look at it from this angle, it's very strongly purple. It's almost a little blue, kind of silvery as well. Next shade is Apollo. And this is a very green gold type of shade. Is Nectar. And this is a very lemony yellow shade. Is Caterpillar. And this is a very bright summery orange with a gold shift to it. I've seen other pictures where you get kind of a green too, but I'm not seeing that. The last shade is Flutter. Pinky green shade. In gold. I'm seeing some gold too. So that is the whole Butterfly Kisses collection. The next set is from Ice Cream Social collection, I think. And this is the color Bubblegum. Now, it is a very strongly pink shade, but when you turn it, it also has a teal, very lime green, and kind of blue sparkle to it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. It's Salted Caramel. You're going to see it is kind of like a tannish, whitish color, but it also has blue and kind of almost a little bit of maybe pink to it as well. Shade is Mint Chip. And it is mint, but it's got blue and purple to it. Screwball. And it's kind of, this is kind of a bluish, pinkish, silverish shade. The next shade is Snowball. This is a very blue shade. However, it does go green. And I thought a little bit purple as well. Attraction, you guys. This color right here, which I called Screwball, is actually Cookie Dough. Put an arrow so I'd remember to flip the names, but I forgot to say that. So this shade is actually Screwball. Very dry shade as well. Now this is more blue to purple. Maybe slightly pink. Next shade is Ubi or Ubi, not sure which. And this is a purple to green. Maybe with another kind of color, but maybe slightly pink. Really pretty. This shade is Rocky Road. And this might be my favorite shade. This is kind of almost a burgundy, reddish, orangish, goldish, and greenish at the same time. This is a gorgeous shade. This might be my favorite shade. Oh, sorry, I'm holding my hand here like, aha! But really, it's a stunning, stunning shade. Baby Girl. And this is a pink to gold, but maybe even a slightly green tint to it as well. This shade is Dollface. This is another formulation that is extremely crumbly, but the shade is beautiful. So maybe get a glitter glue and snap this puppy on. It is a beautiful rose gold color. The shade Glass Slipper. And it's kind of a white silver with a little bit of a green tint to it. Limelight. And it actually looks very, very similar to Glass Slipper to me. Maybe with a slightly more green undertone. This is the shade Aquarius. And it's mostly a green, like a spring green with a little bit of a gold shift to it. Siren of the Sea. And this is also a green shade with a gold flip, but it is a much deeper green. It's Malibu. And at first glance, it looks like a blue that shifts gold, but it also has a very strong green when it's fully mixed together. Queen of Mean. And it's a deep green turquoise with a bit of blue. Mega. And this at first seems very similar to Queen of Mean, but it has a deeper base. I believe it's got a blue base. It does shift purple, if I could get the right light, but I don't think I can. Devious. And this is kind of like a periwinkle blue with a strong lilac purple shift. Disturbia, which is totally giving me Rihanna vibes right now. And this is a very icy blue with a purple kind of shift to it. This is Frostbite. This is another very flaky shade. And it's kind of a very shiny, shifty blue. Nebula. And it's a very metallic lavender shade. It's Foxy Lady. Actually very similar to Nebula, but with a gold base, I think. This shade is Charmed. And it is purple that shifts a greenish blue shade. Very pretty color. Genesis. And this is a gray, purple, green. It's Glazed and Confused. And while this is kind of champagne-y, it also has a bit of a green shift to it. This is Bubbly. It's a gold with almost a pinkish, purplish kind of tint to it. This is the shade Slither. And it's kind of a green gold or even like an antique gold with green. Crush. And it is a very, very metallic champagne shade. It's called Lost. This is a really interesting shade. It's almost a reddish, orangish, brown shifting shade. I think that would be gorgeous all over the eye for everyone. Shade Iced. Pink toned gold. Maybe less gold. Orangey pink metallic. Shade After Party. This is just a beautiful soft orange metallic. Some of the highlighter shades. The first color is Voodoo. And this is a white shifting green. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Limelight or Glass Slipper yet again. This is Wicked. And this is a blue highlight shifting shade. Reminds me kind of a bit of Frostbite. This is Luna. This is like a blue purple. Wicked is more of a blue to green kind of shade, and Luna is more of a blue to purple. Pandora. I think this would personally make a really nice eyeshadow. It's purple based, kind of silvery, also a little bit blue. It's the shade Ever After. And it's kind of orangey, pinky, purple. This is the shade Mimosa. It's a beautiful kind of orangey champagne shade. This is Bombshell. That's a bit more orange. This is Guilty Pleasure. Definitely more gold. And this is Cocoa Rose. Definitely a deep bronze shade. Personally, I think all of these would be better for more medium to dark skin. This Mimosa, you could get away with it on light, but I would say if you're porcelain like I can be, it might be too dark still. So that is all the swatches. I hope those were helpful for you guys. I have a problem. I love Looxi shadows. I think that they are really good. For the most part, they're not so flaky as some of them came off. I've actually really grown to be obsessed with their formulation. A lot of them are very emollient and soft and smooth, so you will dig in if you go too hard, and you hardly need to touch them, in my opinion, especially like with the flakier shades. If you have like an eyeshadow glue or a glitter glue or something like that, I can't usually use those, but I know a lot of people do use them, then I would just go with that. Or for me, I use like lid primer or whatever typically, and they work great. The texture, some of the texture, if it was a little grittier, would remind me of Pat McGrath. I definitely think some of these shades are on par with her special formulation, and for $3 a pop, you can't beat that. I don't know where that voice came from, but it just happened. So in any case, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, put a comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.